I'm Liz Prue, co-founder of PureFandom.com, and I'll be moderating today's Legacies panel. Okay, first up, we have Rafael, Peyton Alex Smith. Hey, welcome, Peyton. The cheers. Okay, next up, we have Mr. Sebastian Thomas Doherty.
Hey guys, what's up?
Welcome.
Thank you.
Third change.
Okay, everyone's favorite bad guy. He was my favorite of Legacies this year, the Necromancer, Ben Geurens.
Oh, yeah.
Here he is.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Barely recognized you.
Yeah, I know. The cast don't recognize me either.
Yeah. Okay, next up, we have Professor Dorian Demetrius Bridges.
What up?
Hey, how's it going?
My light is off here. I'm gonna have to fix my light. What up?
That's all right. Still
I
looking
gotta switch
good.
it around to the other side.
There you go. Okay, we have Jed Ben Levin.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. And last but certainly not least, we have MG himself, Quincy Fouse.
What's going on, family? What goes?
We're all here.
That part.
Thanks for joining us, guys. How has everyone been? Have you guys seen each other since everything kind of went on pause?
No. Demetrius texted me yesterday, but that's about it. I don't get any love.
Nah.
Aria, me and Landon had dinner the other day, so that's about it.
Oh, very nice.
How's he doing?
He's got like this huge beard, like, yeah, he's a different person. He's about to go to Ireland. He's in Ireland right now.
Oh, nice.
Everyone's got beards.
Yeah, everyone's growing. I wish I could grow a beard.
Yeah, me too.
It's definitely the wave. I think it feels better for me because I remember I'm not 17. You know what I'm saying? that helps. That feels good for me.
It reminds you you're a mammal. You know, it's nice to feel your mammal instinct. Yeah, I had a twirly thing, but I had to shave it off for various things. So yeah.
I actually grew a mustache. It was quite an impressive mustache, but my girlfriend threatened to leave me, so I had to shave that.
Good man.
Start saying
You're
that
listening to her.
Mustache.
Ben, where are you? Are you in the US?
Me?
Yeah, I'm in.
Oh, okay. This is going to be difficult, isn't it? Which Ben?
Older Ben.
BG.
Oh, me? Yeah, I'm in the US. I'm actually in Palm Springs today. I just drove away to try and get out of Los Angeles because I've been in an apartment with my wife and kid for how long has it been happening for now? A couple of months. So we just had to get out. So yeah, it's nice and hot and nice and warm here.
No, nice one. And they're there with you. You didn't just go to Palm Springs.
Yeah. They're sort of quietly sneaking around.
Yeah, Demetrius.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We actually
there he is.
we have a ton of fan questions coming in about the Necromancer. A lot of people want to know on Twitter. They want you to become the good guy. They want you to join the Scooby Gang.
I'll never become the good guy. But I reckon I could probably do good things just against my own will.
Right. I love it.
Yeah.
And I think Ben is so convincing that sometimes you're on his side when you watch the show. I feel like it's hard not to relate to him a little bit.
Yeah. Everyone loves a bad guy.
True.
You relate to him. What do you do when you relate to the
I don't know. You just relate to it.
Wait, we're not skipping past that part. What?
His point of view.
I was trying to think about it. I was like,
Are you out?
I don't know, Ben. I know what you mean. Do you mean kind of like the Thanos factor, where like he was such a good villain because you understood why he was doing why he was so bad? That kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. I think an actor. Well, yeah.
I'm messing with you guys.
I'm just trying to help you out. That's my job as a moderator.
Yeah, like we all have good and bad inside, and you can like tap into that. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Precisely.
It's just funny that you used like an extreme necromancer. Absolutely.
Yeah. I just like.
No, I totally feel you. I totally get you. And that's a beautiful thing about what we do as well, because like we all do, no matter what degree of emotion that we have, we can definitely tap into it all.
Our job is about empathy, having that,
exactly.
tapping into that for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I just like it. It's funny.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I can't really get mad at him. I'm laughing half the time,
Colleen Thomas, one of the fans tuning in, wants to know from each of you, what has been something you took away from playing your character or your favorite aspect of them?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
What has been something you took away from playing your character and or favorite aspect of your character?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't really know. I mean, I quite enjoyed, from like an acting standpoint, I actually really enjoyed playing that kind of like stillness. I thought that was something that I definitely took away in my life to kind of be more present with people. Because when you're playing Sebastian, he's so like there. And I think these days, especially with so much like social media and like there's synapses that are always like firing, I was really, really forced to like almost like be meditative when I was engaging with another character, and kind of just being like an open space for that. And I really, really kind of have taken that into my life now. And it's scary because you feel like you want to like give back, but to be in that space of just like presence is really quite powerful, and I highly recommend it. So I'd say that was something I definitely took away.
I'd say something I took away from my character was the exact opposite. I think it's very fun to be very neurotic. I think when MG has his fits of not being able to process everything, and he's just like not being able to handle it, especially in his scenes with Sebastian, I think that's just some of the most fun moments I've had playing this character, just not being able to process what's going on and freaking out. That's been fun. I don't know if I can take that with me in my regular life, but I enjoy it.
I'd leave that there. I'd leave that on top.
Right.
Go into your coffee.
Both things are good.
I try not to take too much of Rafael with me.
Bro, please do not. Please.
My guy just can't get a break. You don't want to bring that home. That's why I try to stay high ceilings wherever I am. Very depressing at work. Everybody's like laughing. I'm in my room, just like try to get in the character. But no, just the aspect of like these kids like being actual like teenagers and going through the normal problems that teenagers go through, and then you put on top of that they're supernatural, and it's like, dang, like how would a werewolf who has anger management deal with this? Like it's already crazy enough to like try to deal with the fact of my character having anger management. Now I'm going to deal with him being a werewolf and how that might change him. And so just taking that and just kind of like after this, I'll know that when I go to another job, else I'll do, like just to kind of think outside of the box and not just think about it linear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with all that. I like that. For me, I feel like I've taken the fact that, Jed has a bravado, but underneath it's an insecurity and a hurt. And so for me, the thing I've been thinking as I work on other characters is the fact that hurt people. And, that underneath anger and rage is pain and upset. So for me, that's just something that I do love with acting, is that, you have that underneath, and perhaps it hasn't fully come out for my character yet, but I do feel like the hurt that's buried has been fun to explore.
Well, I definitely take a lot of the Necromancer home with me, I've got to say. If I don't get my coffee in the morning at the shop the way I want it, I lose my fucking mind. So going from 0 to 10 is just a part of my life these days.
What about you?
What I take from Dorian, I think there's a certain level-headedness that I take from Dorian. When situations are getting dangerous or when it's becoming like a high-stakes situation, Dorian has a great ability to see through it and to see, what we need to do logically. You know what I mean? Like, what's the research? Let's approach this in that way. So that's one of my favorite things, and one of the things I take from him is like, this cat is smooth, man. He's very level-headed. So.
Agreed. We always need that character, especially in the Vampire Diaries universe, because it's always like, something crazy going on, and there's either like the Matt Donovan or, the Dorian to come in and be like, maybe like just think about this for like 1 second. We have so many more fan questions coming in. Ms. Velasquez has a question for Thomas. Do you know if Sebastian has a last name? Or if he's just Sebastian, or is he like Prince?
Don't he have a last name?
Does he have
I don't think he.
I think he does.
Yeah, what did they?
I think it's on the script.
Does it? I can Google it real quick.
Hey, and you know what?
Yeah, let me pull up the side.
Oh shit! What's his name?
You know what? He's been around for a minute. It's been like 400 years. He forgot. That's okay.
Oh, that's so bad. What is his name? I'll think about it. It'll come to me. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll circle back on that. We have another fan question from Pride Month Love. What kind of physical training do you guys have to undergo to play Vamps and Werewolves?
I've been eating a lot. As in, no, I have a trainer out here who stays on me. Sometimes I try to duck him, but I do that. I box and stuff, and I know Quincy does some jiu-jitsu, so maybe one day we'll live stream a fight.
There you go.
Actually,
that's me calling him out on live stream.
Quincy taught me some moves. I remember Quince. I've been utilizing some of those basic physical positions that you gave me. The head down, chin. That whole thing. I wouldn't say I'm really a fighter.
The boxing form that I showed you. The boxing form.
Yeah. I had one scene where we had a whole bow staff scene that actually got cut, but I did learn some bow staff training. That was probably like the coolest thing I got to do training wise. Sort of.
Cool.
Solid.
What's up, Peyton?
I think training wise, we do kind of take our own pace with stuff, unless like there's a scene coming up for us to really train for, right? So then that's when we'll get together with our wonderful stunt team, and then they'll kind of like show us collie sticks and staff training and things like that. But yeah, as far as like training at home and stuff, though, me and Arya will do jiu-jitsu, and I like to box and flip and all that stuff. And anytime we want to do a little something extra, they find intelligent, safe ways to incorporate what we do with the show. So yeah.
Let me just say that I love playing Dorian because there is no physical training that I have to be a part of. I don't have to hit a gym. I don't have to do any jujitsu. I really don't have to incorporate any of that. It's more of a workout of the mind. But no, it's funny enough. I actually do, like, while we shoot, I keep myself in the gym. That's kind of a normal thing, but I don't.
Yeah, you did every month.
Have to.
Why are you capping right now? Like, you work harder than anybody.
I mean, that's a personal thing. Like, I like to be in there, but I don't have to. But I mean, it's
just the tightest shirts to the table reads.
Yeah, get the aesthetic. Yeah.
That's why you only see him have
It's
this.
a lifestyle for him. It's not for the show. That's just him.
Yeah, that's just what I like to do sometimes.
Did you guys not have to dance though? You had like a big dancing episode.
Yeah, that was great.
Singing and dancing.
Yeah, we
I
did.
mean, yeah, then we did do like because the choreographers, you know.
Is that like the 80s episode?
Yeah.
I know Peyton, you were watching like a lot of Fame and stuff. You had like the leg warmers.
I did what?
You were watching like a lot of Fame, Footloose, kind of finding abandoned warehouses and practicing in there.
Yes. That's, you know, I get into it a little, what's the word I'm calling?
Method.
There we go. That guy. I'm like Ben. Go really after it.
More fan questions coming in. Carla Boyd Leonard wants to know if there's any folklore or monsters that you would like the show to bring on that the show hasn't featured yet.
Loch Ness Monster.
Nice.
I want the show to bring on a giant, just like, I don't care what type it is, just someone who is just massive, just a giant, like something like that. Like someone who is...
But Demetrius
would take the whole...
They're never in frame. You just see their knees.
Yeah.
I don't know, like something like that.
I feel like a Jack and the Beanstalk episode.
Yeah.
Fit in.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I'm with that. I don't know. Maybe a goat.
A what?
Billy.
A Billy goat? Yeah.
By a giant Billy
We
goat.
gotta defeat the
A giant.
Everybody think, oh, it's a goat. Like, that's cute. And then he just eats
No,
it.
Peyton, that's not cool, bro. That's
It's not
not, I wouldn't watch that episode, bro.
I would.
A goat?
Well, I'm not a writer.
Really?
No. No, I do.
That kind of
No, I do that too.
like that could be like Jurassic Park, like the goat where the T-Rex.
That's what I'm. See, there we go.
Oh,
Somebody
yeah,
Then
like
the T-Rex
that's what
could
I'm
come
saying,
in.
like, oh, what a cute goat. Don't worry about that goat. And you turn around and he eats Quincy or something.
Yeah.
That's bad.
I'd watch that.
Me too.
I just want a fight scene.
What's that?
I said, I want the fight scene with whatever eats me. I can lose, but let me get one in first.
Mhm.
I think I'd like more fights on this. Not more fight, but like, you know, choreographed fighting. That'd be cool because you have things like doing some kind of, you know, choreographed fighting. That'd be awesome.
All I wanted to do was just rip a heart out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just one heart, lad. Or throw somebody into something. I did. I got through the samurai. I did throw him. He was fun.
Yeah.
Violent,
Cupid-
violent conversation.
That was a win.
Yeah, I'd love to
Okay,
cut someone's
we're
head
saying-
off.
Yeah. CGI though. We have more fan questions coming in. Ayana Green would like to know, how much did you know about the old TBD characters? Vampire Diaries or originals? Did you guys watch the show or did you have to do your research once you got the part?
Yeah, I hadn't watched it, but I had to do a lot of quick research. Quick research.
Yeah.
Just before I began. Yeah. It's particularly the characters that are in Legacies. I just wanted to make sure I knew that they, you know, what their connection was. But yeah. But no, I didn't watch it. Did you guys?
I did a little research, but part of me didn't want to know anything just because it's its own like separate show. And if maybe if it was like a prequel, then I would have wanted to watch more of it. But just because it was new and I was new to the school, me and Landon were new, I kind of wanted to find it out on my own from like characters like Dorian or somebody who's been there. You know, like even when Quincy, like when I first met, Quincy was the first person I met when I came to the studio, when I like landed from New York. And like when I met him there, like I kind of met him in the show because we had like a scene later and he was like explaining things to me, but then he's explaining things to me in real life. So like that was cool and it made it kind of easier to act.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm similar. Sorry to interrupt. It's like but it is a similar tone, isn't it? The Vampire Diaries and the originals and Legacies. It's all there's a continuity of tone, isn't there, or is it all a little bit different?
I think this one's more fun.
Slightly similar.
A little different.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
I mean, it's definitely on the same, family of pace, but there are those real differences. Like, cause I started watching the originals when I first auditioned, cause I auditioned for Landon's role first, and I was just okay, let me see what I'm getting into. When I got into watching the originals and I saw how like gangster, I mean, it wasn't no Scooby Gang stuff in the originals.
Yeah,
as much as I've come to appreciate what we do, you know what I mean? It was definitely a different pace. So getting on set and kind of learning, like Julie wants to tell, a different breadth of story in the same world on this show. You know what I mean? It took some adjusting, but in familiarizing myself with the old world, though, it did help things because, there's a moment where you are the vampire and you have to vamp over here and do all these physicalities and things like that. And because I was familiar enough with the old show, it wasn't like, me failing at comprehending what all the special, effect things and things like that were about. So
I was familiar with the show. I was familiar with the Vampire Diaries. I was in Atlanta at the time, and it was a big show. Like when it started out, Vampire Diaries really hit the map. And being an actor in Atlanta, you would audition for it. I had a lot of friends that would go in for it and that sort of kind of thing. So it became like a show that you wanted to get on because that was the credit. Like if you're in Atlanta and you get on a show like that, it was like, so they made a lot of noise. And once I checked it out, I could see why it was such a hit. It was a decent show. So it was really good. So I was familiar with it beforehand, and I did the last season. So I had to know what was going on. So yeah, I was familiar with that in the originals. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty cool seeing the same sets. I think that's been like really fun. Having combed through the originals and then to be on, at the actual school. It's that's really been neat to see the same places.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
In the originals Wizard World panel, the cast members were saying how cool the sets are for you guys. Like just the whole Vampire Diaries universe, like the sets are like very elaborate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are. They're like kind of what Ben said. You will see a lot of, on our set, you'll see things that remind you of the Vampire Diaries and of the originals. And these guys do a great job. I mean, because we're dealing in a mystical world, so the things they have to build, and I mean, it's on another level. The sets are really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think as well, because it's such a well-established, Ben, you might be able to relate, but I mean, you get a call and then you're meant to be on on set like a week later. So when I turned up, it was kind of just offloaded all this information about the history of like vampires, the history of werewolves. So it was quite easy to like delve into that without having watched it. But I have watched it since. And I think it'd be really cool if Legacies, because it's kind of set in high school, as it progresses, I think it would be quite cool if it did start to bleed more into that like dark, way of like Vampire Diaries. I think that'd be really
cool. Rip a heart out.
Yeah.
Get it cool.
You guys are right on that cusp of doing that with the age range, that coming of age stuff starts to get real. That's
they are catching some bodies kind of young.
A lot of murder to experience in high school. A lot of murder.
I got like 3.
You got 3 kills? Nice.
Stop killing people, Peyton.
You can't say anything.
Stop wanting to kill people. Stop wanting to kill more people.
I got one. Not really though.
You got one body? Who?
But not really though. It was like it was one, but it was redacted.
Yeah.
True.
Loopholes.
But between Ben and Thomas, like y'all got bodies. Thousands of years.
More fan questions coming in. Ms. Ace Murray and others would like to know, what was your favorite scene to film in any of the seasons?
My favorite episode was the one where Jenny his character imagines what was that episode called? The different world where I'm wearing a leather suit, sort of like a Neo-like suit. I mean, that was just my favorite costume. Like for me, I've never worn like a full-blown leather trench coat, and that's just, I don't know. I wish I had a lot more scenes in that outfit. So that was fun because we had the Michelson car with the suicide doors, and I mean that was just cool to see that alternate reality. Yeah.
Yeah, you are giving me young Keanu Reeves vibes right now.
It's his hair, man. I'm even first time with a ponytail. Like this is messed up. I'm just, you know.
Oh, it's a ponytail. Let's see this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh snap!
It's a little dumb. I'm not even proud of that. I'm hiding it. It's really it's out.
My favorite scene, maybe the poetry. When I did the poetry, I think that was like episode 7.
Nice.
That was a great.
That was pretty funny, and like a lot of people in the crowd were laughing and stuff, and it was a good time to shoot that one. Yeah.
He gave that spoken word, man. He was into that.
Illness.
That's one of my favorite episodes. Not scenes that I was in, but when we shot the talent show, I was there. I would just walk up. I had nothing to do with it, but I would walk up and just watch everyone perform. It looked like a music video. It was intense to see everybody display, what they can do. That was an incredible episode. One of my favorite scenes that I was a part of was I think it was episode 5 in the first season, or it might not have been 5. We were doing Remembrance Day, and Dorian was asking for the day off, and he wanted to be away, and situations kept pulling him back to the school, and I had that moment with Caleb where I just had to let him know, the history and why I take off. It was just a moment where I got to really get at him and give him the history of, how things go and that sort of kind of thing.
Yeah, I think as well, being an actor, it's some of your favorite scenes, they're not even big, elaborate scenes that you might not, like as an audience, you might not expect it as a favorite scene, but the whole process of filming it, like I'm filming a scene in a car with Jenny. I mean, watching it is like 2 minutes. It goes quite quickly. It's nothing like exciting, but that whole experience, it was like 3 a.m, get to know Jenny more, like everything that goes around it, that can also make something more, that can be a favorite scene because of the process that goes into making the actual scene.
One more scene. I have another favorite as well. Is I got to punch a lark, and that was that was badass. Like the way they wanted to do it, and they slow-moed it at the end. That was pretty fun. We had that thing between me, him, and Emma, and when I got to punch him, come down the hall, no words, just really
no words.
Just give him one. That was one of my favorites as well. Just that was a fun moment. Not that I'm getting that Matt or anything. It was just fun.
No. Oh man, no. I just remember when I broke up the Emma Dorian wedding. I mean that was like.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty fun for us. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, we had fun there.
Yeah, Jed needs love too, even if it's from the guidance counselor.
So unexpected. It was so like Ben showed up. Where did this guy come from? And he was so passionate. He did really good too. Like it was hard. Like I was holding back laughter as Ben did his thing. And it was hilarious.
I was on my rom-com. I was trying to go as, rom-commy as I could, and just, I wanted her to be loved the way she deserves. So it was a real feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an a-hole move, no doubt.
Speaking of Ben, you made me laugh so much. I just want to take a second and acknowledge how much a blessing Chris Lee is to our set, because that dude is so funny, bro. But when him and Ben got up there to sing that song at Lizzie's funeral, that was the funniest stuff to sit there and watch because they were actually like trying to oversing each other and stuff like that. It was just the funniest thing. And then I had to sit there with Danielle and we just kind of like look at each other. But then every time we had made eye contact with each other, we would just bust out laughing and we would just start ruining takes. So we had to get it together.
I love your reactions in that. It's just, you're sincerely, you feel the awkwardness for sure. I mean, that was so easy. That was close to self thing I did on the show because Chris is such a good singer and I really am trying to keep up. So that was no stretch. I just have to try to harmonize, and it comes out the way it does.
Ben G, some fans would like to know how long it takes to get into Necromancer makeup.
Too long. It's about 4 to 5 hours. It started off about just for long, but they've got it down to about 4 now, 4.5.
And what do you do those 4 hours? What do you do those 4 or 5 hours?
Just listen to music or sleep a little bit. Or Heather, the girl who does the monster makeup, is just a just talk about punk music. You know, it's kind of, all those monster makeup people are into like punk and sort of heavy metal. They're all into it. It's really weird.
Gotta get in the mindset.
Sorry?
You're getting in the mindset.
Yeah. I try and find as many gags in the script as I can possibly find. Ways to sort of say everybody understands. That's what I try to do. But yeah, no, it's a long process.
4 or 5 hours.
I'll have a scene with him like later in the day, and I'll be like working all day, but we only have one scene at like night, and I'm like, "What are you doing here?" Like, why are you here till 4 o'clock, bro? It's 8 p.m.
Yeah, I can't be first up because I'd have to be there at 2 in the morning or something.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's crazy.
Ben's like tucked away in the monster room. You have this room with all the
I never get to see you guys.
It's such a weird experience as well. Like when I first I met Ben in the Necromancer costume, and when he came to one of the table reads outside of the, I didn't even know who he was at the table, and I was like, "Who is this guy?" He had been with us for like a couple episodes, and I completely didn't know who he was, and he had to, once I heard him speak, I was like, "Oh, okay."
The makeup's that good.
Yeah, even the crew, when I'm walking around without my makeup, they're like, "Who is this guy? Should we get security? Get him out of here." No one knows who I am. Yeah, it's funny.
All right, we have time for one more fan question before we wrap up. Mayor Bear 223 would like to know, do you guys prefer to play a villain or the hero?
By the way, what's up, Mayor Bear? I like that name.
Mayor Bear 223.
Mayor Bear 223. All right, shout out Mayor Bear 223.
Villains are fun. Yeah. Like, I don't know. There's something so appealing about being a villain. Maybe it's the taboo because I play such a good guy and I just want him to like go full Ripper mode one day. You know what I mean? Right. Like I'm ready for that. I want to experience that. So right now I'm kind of on a villain kick.
Always a villain. Always a villain.
Like even during like Dark Knight, like I was rooting for the Joker. Like,
of course.
I don't know what that says about me and my soul, but
yeah, you really painted a picture of Ben.
No, but like one of my favorite characters is the Necromancer, and I just love scenes with him, and like just it kind of like he's a catalyst for a lot of the stuff that we go through. Like our show wouldn't be fun without the villains. Like we would just be having a good time, which I mean would be cool, I guess. People tune in to see us defeat the villains or to see what happens next, or to see if one of us may become the villain and our view on the world changes. But like, I think both fun.
Both.
That's why I think it was fun to see Josie's character this year, because she got to play both with the dark Josie and the other one, and I know everybody like loved that, and it was cool to see her on set and like the different versions that she had to play. So I think I would do that.
I think the villain is like the fun. The villain is the opportunity to not care. You know what I mean? And just do what they want to do. But I do like the good guy. He lives longer. He stays more seasons. You know, the good guy is also you gotta keep the good guy there.
Mm-hmm. It's about a balance.
Mm-hmm. Only need one.
All right, guys. Well, unfortunately, we have to wrap up. This has been so much fun. But did you guys want to do a round robin and just do a quick shout out to the fans?
Yeah.
Me last stop.
I'll go first.
Yeah, Peyton, we'll start.
Thank you guys for tuning in. I know it's been some crazy times in the world, so I appreciate you guys just staying present and just still showing us love. I also want to shout out to my dad. Happy Father's Day yesterday. Shout out Dibby Blood in Dallas, North Texas. You know what I mean?
Quincy.
Yeah. Shout out to Peyton's dad.
Yeah.
All the fathers. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers.
All the fathers.
Well, much love out to all the fans. Happy Father's Day. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. And I'm just, sending love to y'all. Keep up with your meditation. Make sure your inner world is right. Care about your health.
Yeah. To all that. No, I just want to say thanks for all the support too. I mean, I've it's been a pleasure being on a show that people love. So the fans are just incredible on the show, and thanks for tuning in right now. And yeah, this is a crazy moment out there. So I hope everyone continues to stay safe and learn about our history.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Demetrius,
go. Nice,
Same. I echo the same sentiment as these guys. Is we appreciate you. We appreciate you for being part of the show, being interested. We have a really fun thing going on. We enjoy it, and we really appreciate you guys supporting and tuning in and talking about it. And even this, we want to thank Wizard World and you guys for putting this on, because this is really cool to connect while all of this is going on, the quarantine, and it's tough. So for everyone out there, like Quincy said, take care of your inner world. That's super important. Super important. Take care of yourself, educate yourself, and we appreciate you. And shout out to Peyton's dog that's making a cameo right now.
What a cute.
No, but thank you guys.
Thomas?
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, exactly what those guys said. Just look after yourselves. Keep safe, keep social distancing, and just want to say thank you for all the love, guys. I mean, I know it's always hard coming into an established series, and I receive nothing but love and support. And so thanks for your comments, encouragement, and look after yourselves, get educated, and thanks for tuning in.
Awesome. Thanks. Ben G, any final words before we sign off?
Yeah, look, I just want to say thanks to all the fans. I love doing this role, and I bitch about 5 hours of makeup, but I wouldn't give it up for anything. I really just have so much fun, and I think everyone in this show doesn't come to see that when you watch it, whether you're bad or good. So keep watching. Keep loving it like we do. Thanks a lot.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. This has been a blast. Personally, I love the Vampire Diaries universe. I started watching this when I was in college, and now I have 2 kids, and I'm watching Legacies and having a lot of fun still. So thank you. The fans love the show. We really appreciate it. Everyone, let's give a bunch of thumbs up and heart emojis as we say bye.
Black Lives Matter.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Black Lives Matter.
1,000,000 times.
Yes. And thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you again to Peyton Alex Smith, Thomas Doherty, Ben Geurens, Demetrius Bridges, Ben Levin and Quincy Fouse. You guys are wonderful. Thank you for joining us today. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.
Hey, this is Alex Malari Jr., and you are watching Fandom Spotlight. Be sure to hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Your Emperor commands it. Thanks for watching.